Good morning, everybody. It's Bobby. I hope you had a great weekend and hope also that you have a great week to look forward to. Today's topic is that of tempo, and I don't think I've covered this in a great many months. And there are some things about tempo that you need to know, and some things you need not concern yourself with. For instance, we know that tempo and rhythm are not the same thing. What is tempo? Tempo is the rate a sequence of intervallic events occur within a specified time frame. Blah. You don't have to know that. It's not that scientific. It's more feel related. And what you do need to know is that when your tempo is off, you're always too fast. You're never too slow. That's not going to be the problem. And so we as golfers have to figure out a way to almost always be on the lookout, to place restraint on ourselves, because our tendency is to want to swing faster than can do us some good. I would liken it to, when you're at the airport and you're pretty sure you're going to catch your flight, but you want to hurry anyway, but the guy in front of you is walking really slow and you can't get around him. And so you've got to sort of hold on to this artificial gait that's torturous when every instinct in you is to get around them and go like the blazes. That is how the golf swing it sometimes might feel. And that is that you want to swing faster, but the best way to do it that's suitable for the situation, that is to make a good golf swing, is to go a little slower than what's natural. And this is something else you need to know. There are two parts of the swing that need your attention, that must be slow and gradual in order for you to be swinging in good tempo. And they are what? They are the beginning of the backswing and also the beginning of the downswing. These bugs are getting me here. Beginning of the backswing, the beginning of the downswing. So let's take those piece by piece. Number one, the beginning of the backswing. Arnold Palmer said that if he could just make sure to manage the first 18 inches of this backswing, that the rest of the swing he doesn't have to worry about it, that it will be slow and gradual because he will have set the pace by taking it away slow. And that implies something else that's very healthy for your golf swing. Gosh almighty. And that is that the golf swing should be taken away with your left shoulder. Your left shoulder and club should be as one. The only way you'll ever take this club back in a slow, gradual pace is if that's the case, the shoulder and the club move together. Because snatching hands are not going to go slow. And so this thing should leave your peripheral view here nice and slow because the left shoulder is what's taking it away. And so we're always taking this thing away with a nice slow backswing. That is, the shoulder and club are as one. No bringing about a second piece to this by putting it in the hands right away. Because remember, we don't want to be a hand swinger, but if you put it in the hands right away, you're not going to get it back into the body before impact. It's already in the hands, and that's all you'll have to swing with. So it's important that we put it in the body to begin with, and that is the left shoulder and the club as one. All right, number two, beginning of the downswing. Now, when I'm watching someone and trying to figure out if they're relaxed and they're swinging in with a proper tempo, I'm tuning into one of two parts of them most often. I'm looking at their left shoulder, that'd be one, because when someone's really swinging in tempo, this left shoulder will be still for a moment when they get to the top of the backswing. The first mark of someone whose tempo is a little bit disturbed at the moment would be this shoulder that gets here and then immediately returns. They're swinging with their upper half. This shoulder should stay in place for a perceptible interval before returning. Now, the lower half's doing some stuff, but this shoulder and the club are as one. And that is, left shoulder stays in place. And that's the first mark of a good tempo. It's there for a moment where if your name was written there, someone could read it, just for a second. And number two, the eye. This is something I do as an instructor. I look at your left hand, and I want to be able to see, right now my hand is still, so you can count 1, 2, 3, 4 knuckles. If this thing goes up here and it's fast, it's too much of a blur, you couldn't count the knuckles. I look to see if someone's hand is in place long enough to where those 4 knuckles, I can count them individually, because for a moment there, they are stock still, as is the shoulder. And so those are the high points of tempo. Make sure that you regulate your backswing by taking it away with your left shoulder. First 18 inches, Arnold Palmer, he did pretty well with that golf swing. Whereas if you keep it at a manageable pace the first 18 inches, then you'll probably set the stage for the rest of the swing. But second to that, make sure also that you don't rush the downswing, that your left shoulder is in place for a perceptible interval, and you'll be on your way to a good tempo. I want to thank you all for watching. I'll see you next week.